You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hey Ken, my name is Jan. I wanted to ask you, how do you set the title in CatchBoundary's in Remix? So if you have a loader and it catches something and you throw a response, then you cannot return any JSON with the title, so your meta function will not know what the title should be if you want to derive the title based off from your loader. So I was wondering, if you have something and you trigger a catch boundary because you throw a response, how do you set a title in CatchBoundary's? Thank you.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey, Jan, I'm actually not sure the best way to do this. That's why it took me like an eternity to answer your question. Naturally in your meta function, you can say if there's no data, then I know that we threw, and so I'll just display something random, whatever, or not random, but like something that doesn't have data. But the problem is that your loader has, like, it could have a bunch of different pieces of data, and some of them are fine, and some of them are not fine. But if a single thing ends up throwing, then your catch boundary or your error boundary is going to result in being rendered, and yeah, you're not going to have any of that data in those. Now, the catch boundary is a little special because when you throw a response, you can actually throw a JSON response and get those values in your UI. But yes, in the meta function, you won't have access to that data. And so I actually just did this yesterday, and what I did was I just made the title be something like, I pulled something from the params. So you do have access to the params, and I said, username does not exist or whatever. And so like, that's what I would do. But yeah, if you do want to have something that comes from the database or something, you're not going to be in a swell position. You could do some hackery in your catch boundary to set the title in a use effect or something like that. But of course, it's not going to server render that way. And so that is, unfortunate. I could imagine a couple hackery things that I could do to make it server render. So you could render some sort of special element in the catch boundary that then your entry.server looks for and will move to the title position. I do that sort of thing with some other weird stuff for stuff. But like I said, definitely kind of hacky to do that. So honestly, this seems like the sort of thing that would be good to bring up to the Remix team, a use case that you say, hey, I can get a bunch of stuff in my loader, but just one of them fails. I want to use the things that did not fail in my boundary so that I can like display something useful. Now, in particular for the meta function. So you want to have access to those things in the meta function. I hope that kind of helps. Good luck with what you're working on, and have a nice day.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.